Good morning, everyone, and welcome to the Fiscal Philosophy YouTube channel. I consider myself to be a value-oriented investor, and today it's Christmas, and the year 2023 is coming to a close shortly. So I wanted to offer a little retrospective to those of you that have been with me on this journey. So I started sharing my investing journey at the beginning of this year, and I think that overall, doing this has helped me to become a better investor and potentially has helped maybe some of my viewers to become better investors as well. I think that this has been the start of a wonderful conversation around investing. Those of you on the Discord often provide really unique perspectives and insights and, make me think about things a little bit differently. And just having to go through the process of explaining what I'm in, why, etc., I think that overall makes me a better investor because it forces me to think through a lot of things and, in some cases, reevaluate and rethink things. So as far as YouTube goes, this year so far, and this may change just a little bit, 1 or 2% by the end of the year, but we've gotten a total of 120,000 views. Now that's like a mid-sized city worth of people. If it was all unique viewers, which there are a lot of returning viewers, of course, but 120,000 views. It certainly, if you had asked me years ago if I would ever have a YouTube channel that has over 100,000 views, and if I could get there from zero in less than a year, I might not have thought that was possible. Watch time, of course, we have over 8,000 hours of watch time, which is actually double, what's needed for monetization, and we have been monetized, of course. You can see the revenue tab exists. Subscribers, about almost 1.2K, 1,191 at the time of recording this. Might get past 1.2K by time the new year begins. And of course, the estimated revenue. So closing in on $200. We may not get there by the end of the year, but, we haven't been monetized really all that long, at least not in terms of ad revenue. I have had channel memberships for a few months now, and so those have kind of been accumulating. I did recently get my first payout from YouTube. It was like $136. So that's always nice, right? Granted, yes, the return on my time for that is pretty low. Like, I'd be better off being like a part-time barista or something with the hours I've spent on here, but it feels nice to know that my message and my journey, my videos are do have some kind of monetary value in the world. It's very validating. So next, I want to get into how we've done this year so far with regards to investing, where we're at, and how some of our investments have done overall, big picture wise. The first investing accomplishment I would like to talk about is my YouTube portfolio. So this is powered by M1 Finance, and by the way, if you want to help me out, join M1 Finance through my link in the description. Deposit $5,000 and we each get a free $100. But anyways, M1 Finance, YouTube portfolio. Basically, I let my community pick stocks, preferably dividend stocks. I set some guidelines, dividend stocks over $1 billion market cap, and those are really the only rules. And then the ones that get mentioned the most in the comment section, well, they end up in a community poll. You guys vote. Whoever is in the lead at the time I close the poll, and I usually give a heads up when I'm going to be checking and closing, basically closing the vote. I mean, I leave them up in the community tab forever. I never delete them. So sometimes people come in later and vote for a different stock, but whatever is in the lead at the time that I decide to close the poll, they are the stock that I end up buying. And you guys have done an amazing job picking stocks. The whole premise of this was originally that I think that my community can beat the gurus just by nature of, hive brain power or consensus. And I think, if we were to go up against the Jeremy Financial Educations, the Stock Mo's, the Kevins, whatever, I think we would probably be beating them. If we looked at their stock picks and we put them up against our stock picks. So the stocks you guys selected for me to buy were British American Tobacco, Visa, 3M, Nintendo, and Realty Income, the monthly dividend company. So 4 out of the 5 are in the green, and 3 out of those 4 are in the green to double digits. 2 of them right around or even above 20%, and all of these have been held for less than a year, by the way. So if you annualize it, we're doing quite well. So I just want to give props to my community for apparently being genius stock pickers and getting me into some real bangers. Hopefully, when we get to 2,000 subscribers and I throw another $1,000 at this, you guys will pick another Grand Slam stock for me. So next thing on the investing item list here is my SCHD Destroyer portfolio. Basically, 50 companies that I've at least kind of thought about or considered at one point or another. Definitely wouldn't claim to have done a ton of individual research or in-depth analysis on all of them. That would be a little ridiculous. It's 50 companies. Imagine trying to listen to 50 earnings calls and read through 50 sets of financials, etc. I'm certainly not someone that has the time to do that. Even an analyst would probably struggle to get through that much material. But I think this is a compelling combination of different sectors, industries, different metrics with regards to financials, different valuations, different dividend metrics in terms of current yield versus future growth. And I think that blend will make for a pretty solid little portfolio. It's not all that deep, but I do like this combination of stocks better than SCHD. Now, there is some overlap, of course, but I think there are some companies in here that, SCHD maybe didn't put into their portfolio because the dividend metrics weren't quite what they call for in their formula. Whereas I think you're missing out on a lot of the growth in the economy by leaving out certain companies. So basically, I've made sure that companies like Apple and Microsoft are a part of this, as well as a lot of other businesses. I really like companies with, there's a lot of companies here with that I would say have moats or that have some essential element to them. There's a lot of, I think, anchor, stability, defensive type companies in here as well. And I think in the long run, this will be a pretty solid investment. I don't know if it'll even beat SCHD, really. That remains to be seen. I hope it will. I also don't really know if it'll beat the market. By that, I mean the SPY. But hey, this is kind of a for fun type thing. And I'm not necessarily going all in on it, but it is exercising that part of me that I think maybe doesn't want to buy businesses that I think might be a little too expensive. So I really more or less ignored valuation here, which was pretty hard for me to do, but I just picked things that I think will be good over a long time frame. And that's it. Just ignoring valuation, like, will this business be doing really well in a few years? And based on that, I picked them. And, you know, some of them that may hold true, some of them may not. But I'm kind of proud of myself for not being too nitpicky when it comes to the valuation, and just, you know, saying, hey, that's a good business. They generate good value for shareholders. They're well managed. They have a good moat, that kind of thing. And really letting that be the driver of it. Or it's an industry I like, and I just want a few companies that are representative of that industry, whatever it might have been. It just wasn't purely based on valuation. So we'll see how that does. Actually, right now, lately, it seems like value is actually doing better, but hey, sometimes value does better, sometimes other things do better. But I personally think value usually wins the day in the very, very long term, but we'll see. We'll see. I'm open-minded. The last investing thing I want to go over is the 100K challenge. I do still work on this account, but it just hasn't really gone anywhere yet. It's been just kind of bouncing between a certain range and not really too much forward momentum yet. It's a work in progress still, and I've kind of been rethinking strategy and that kind of thing, and how I want to approach the videos around it to make them a little bit more engaging or entertaining and that kind of thing. So honestly, the engagement has not been great on this particular video series. I only made 2 videos, I think, covering it, but I'm hopeful I can kind of rework it, revamp it, bring it back to life a little bit. I definitely haven't given up on the concept, but I think it needs a little bit of work and refinement before it's really worth bringing back onto the channel on a regular basis. So I'd like to leave you all with my, my final thoughts, and kind of going forward goals for next year. I don't have any specific subscriber goals for the channel or anything like that. I just want to do better next year than I did this year, basically. I think if I always approach it with that mentality, I should make progress. And I think that's what, that needs to be step number 1. Always one foot in front of the other, making progress towards something. And so to that end, I want to definitely, I want to upgrade production value to an extent, whatever is reasonable for me to do. Part of that, actually, I would like to move out of this place, which, it's fine and everything, but there's a lot of frustrations from living here. Sometimes my thought process and actual video creation gets interrupted by different noise issues, whether it be the lawn care people choosing the most inconvenient times to want to run a leaf blower right outside, or neighbors playing smooth jazz, or having domestic whatevers. So I want to honestly, I just want to get into a place that maybe I own, whether that be a house hack where it's like a duplex where I live in one and rent out the other. You can do that with anything from 2 to 4 units, or alternatively getting into a little condo or something. I know interest rates suck right now, but I think mortgage companies are offering, and I know this because I'm a UWM shareholder, mortgage companies now have 1% down loan products. So the actual cash outlay to get in is probably something I could probably come up with pretty quickly. And then, of course, later down the line, I can refinance to lower my monthly payment. So that's really more of a forward-thinking thing. And I think that just having a place that's maybe got a little bit more convenient space-wise for me to set up a little studio space instead of just kind of randomly plopping it down in a corner like this might help a little bit with just getting in the right zone to actually make videos and shut myself out from other distractions. And also, I think having real estate is a good long-term store of value in most cases. Of course, there's times where properties go down in value and things like that, but usually owning your own place, especially if it's somewhere where it's marketable for rent or whatever, I think it's generally speaking a good store of value. So it's much better as a store of value as far as your monthly payment going towards equity than renting, right? But that's not to say that buying is always better than renting. I've seen the arguments for both sides, but I think in this case I can kill two birds with one stone with that, and so I'm going to be pursuing that, at least investigating it. The other thing I want to definitely accomplish is leveling up the Cashflow Kings live show. I co-host that with Ryan Dengler, and I think we've done a pretty good job of pulling in a pretty consistent foundation of an audience on a weekly basis. We've gained some subscribers recently on there. I think honestly we just need to do a better job of promoting it, and I think we need to increase the frequency with which we have guests on, and maybe we need to be even maybe more ambitious about the kind of guests we pursue. And also I think I would like to also just maybe experiment with creating in other niches, not on this channel, of course. This is a financial channel, but I've been toying around with the idea of maybe making a few experimental videos on other channels I would make and just seeing how they perform. I think that I could potentially take advantage of like a bit of a network effect if I could get my old rate of video creation back, where I was sometimes making as many as 2 videos in a day. I think that could make something like that work a little bit better. I think the finance space is a little bit tough right now. I would definitely like to see some of the newcomers like myself, Ryan, and others sort of start to overtake the old school guys a little bit. I do think when you look at the old channels, the Jeremys, the Kevins, the whatever, when you look at the size of their sub count versus how many videos they get, the ratio is pathetic, to be perfectly honest. And newer channels like mine do better in that regard, right? So I've got almost 1,200 subscribers, and it's pretty normal, like honestly, for a decent video by me, one that gets a reasonably good amount of engagement, to get 500 or 600 views over a period of time. And a real banger of a video might get 1,000 or up to even like 5,000 or 6,000 if it has MPW in the title sometimes. I had a PayPal video that got over 2,000 views. I mean, imagine Meet Kevin releasing a video today that got 3 or 4 million views, right? That's basically the same thing if you convert it. I think if you have millions of subscribers and you're struggling to get 20 or 30k views on a video, that you've pretty much failed. It's time to pack it in. It was good while it lasted, and I mean, unless that's enough, unless the juice is still worth the squeeze for you at that point, I don't know. I mean, I'd feel pretty lucky if I ever even got to 20 or 30k views a video. That's actually probably enough, honestly, if you're doing it mostly on your own with maybe a little bit of help from an editor part-time or something. It's probably worth it. You could probably make a living on that, but I personally just think, from back in the day, they should probably have enough in the bank and invested that they don't even really need to to do the YouTube grift anymore. Not to mention the course sales and everything else, which, by the way, I think that's why people are kind of looking for someone new, because I'm not trying to sell a course here. All right. I'm trying to share basically a journey and kind of just, the evolution of my thought process when it comes to investing, and look at it from, a really rational and logical perspective, and share my reasoning and invite a conversation. I don't want to hide any of my investing processes or thoughts behind any kind of a paywall. If I became wildly successful, I might write a book, but it wouldn't be a book that tells you how to invest. It might tell you about how I invest or something, but like you understand my thought process by just watching the channel. I will never sell a course or do investment specific coaching of any kind through this channel. That's not what it's for. It's really just basically about having a conversation, building a community, and discussing the merits of different investments and in different investing styles. And I hope that the value of the conversation speaks for itself and gets people engaging and tuning in. That's really all it is. So with that, I want to wish you all a really wonderful Christmas and thank everybody who has supported me. I have a few channel members that I would like to, you know who you are. I want to appreciate the support that you've given to the channel. The fact is that, it makes it really feel worth my while, knowing that there are people that value the content enough to, give up their hard-earned money, whether it's $1, $2, whatever it is, on a month-to-month basis, just to support the channel. Because, again, I don't hide anything behind a paywall, right? They don't have any, they're not getting to see any kind of, super secret investing voodoo magic, whatever. Everybody here pretty much gets the same level of transparency. I do give a little bit more love and priority to the comments left by my members, and if they wanted more personal access to just talk to me directly and that kind of thing, I'd probably be willing to give them that too. But as far as really getting anything material, no, they're just the real ones that actually support the message and want the channel to continue. So definitely appreciate that. And for those of you who subscribe and actually regularly watch, leave your comments, leave your thoughts, who join the conversation on Discord and actually say things that are insightful or thoughtful, share research, share knowledge, share opinions. I really appreciate all of that too. It's really been a really interesting year. I think we've come really far, honestly. I didn't know anything about making videos at the beginning of the year, and now towards the end, I've done it hundreds of times, and I feel like I've learned so much, grown as a person, as an investor, as a creator, all of these things. And that is, in a way, a reward unto itself. And I can't wait to see what we do in 2024, everybody. So have a wonderful, safe holiday, and I'll talk to you later. Cheers, everybody.